everyone, welcome to Lingo Vlog channel? Vlog. There we go. I'm gonna go with Lingo Vlog channel until I remember, and then we'll forget. But I thought I would go over what kind of like my target languages are now. I think, as you know, before I mentioned I did want to kind of utilize my language learning interest into kind of just see how far I can go, and also like I'm interested in it, so that's something I do want to do to kind of, I guess, nurture a little bit, because I am interested in that. So I will hopefully maybe do something positive with it. So, you know, but yeah. So the original 8 languages I have before, let me see if I can do it off my head. English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hebrew, and Latin. Oh, that's 10. I can't count, I'm sorry. So those 10 I'm still keeping. I said I did pretty well with my Spanish. I feel like my German would be okay once I kind of pick it up. My French is still there, but not really. Like, I just have not used French in so long. Like, I can listen and read it, but like anytime I'm asked to like write or like speak it, just out the window. Then my Italian's been pretty good, actually, because like I said, I have a really good tutor over there. I actually looked into some more kind of like help with my language learning through there with my budget, and it actually worked out to having a decent amount of tutors. I was actually quite surprised, considering like all my requirements that I wanted and all this and that. So it does go to show, like, you can kind of learn whatever you want, as long as you kind of are smart about it. Like, you make a plan, you know what you're looking for, and then you just kind of take that, what is it? It's not indication, it's like take that initiation, I guess. Like, once you start, basically you will pretty much get through it and figure out what you were looking for. You just gotta kind of put in that effort. But continuing down the line, we got I think 5 more. But going back to kind of the review, my Japanese is okay. I really want to focus more on like my writing, but I mean I've been able to learn a lot more words, but I'm not really able to put them into sentences. Grammar's definitely something I gotta work on there. Still struggling on the tones with Chinese. Yeah. And then Korean is just Korean. I figured out how to write it and how to like read it, but like the sounds are very difficult for me. I don't know why. I feel like that they're not as pronounced as the other two. Like Japanese, like you can kind of hear like konnichiwa, genki desu ka, like you can kind of understand, like it's very like, and even Chinese, which is quite tonal. Like, I'm not very good with the tones, but like you can kind of tell when there's certain tones, like wo, like war, and then like what is it, wo shi, like that kind of thing. I can kind of tell what people are saying, because it's I don't know. Whenever I hear Korean, it's like 안녕하세요, like gannayo. Like, I can't tell if it's like a g or like a k, or if it's a d or it's a b. Like, I can never tell what they're exactly like. There's not really a tone, but there's like certain words together that sound different. That's one of the things I'm definitely struggling with. I don't know what it's called. Hopefully I'll figure it out. I can somewhat understand like how everything's written, so like I can follow how I'm supposed to read stuff, but like I said, I need to work on it. But I do know like certain endings to words, so that does help when I'm trying to kind of figure it out, but it's still like, what do I do? But hopefully soon I'll be able to introduce myself, kind of be able to get some basic words going, and hopefully in the background figure out the rest of what I'm trying to figure out there. But yeah, I found also a good Latin teacher, so I've been able to kind of look into that. Really, really close to Italian, actually. I'm actually kind of like, this is like Italian's like mom. It's what it feels like. It's like an easier version of Italian that sounds really old, because like it's basically an ancient language, I'm assuming. It's kind of like not a dead language, I guess, but I guess it is a dead language, actually. No one really, yeah, okay. But yeah, after that I have Hebrew, and I'm working on Hebrew. I think I'm getting the alphabet kind of okay. Really just need to work on that alphabet. Like, that alphabet's a little confusing for me, because like you have the written version, but then when you're reading anything and trying to read, you read and you're like, you keep reading this way and you have to read that way, and it's not sinking into here. But yeah, that's how that's going. Greek and Russian and Arabic are pretty much kind of the same because the alphabet's not difficult, but it's difficult. It's like you know what you want your brain to figure out. But at the same time, I don't get it. Mostly because the Russian alphabet has like the Drovisnak, Imekisnak, and I don't exactly know why these sounds work differently with certain letters and then this and that and the other thing. So I really have to kind of figure out those two letters. Whereas the rest of it's just me just forgetting what letters are what because it's the mix of the Greek, which I'm learning, and then the Latin, which I'm learning. So that's just kind of my bad on learning a lot of alphabets at once. Usually when I'm learning an alphabet, I try to kind of differentiate them, but by, not learn the same exact thing. But I thought that the Greek alphabet wouldn't be that confusing towards the Russian alphabet, but kind of backfired a little bit. But I kind of dropped my Greek for a minute and really tried to up what I'm trying to figure out with the Russian alphabet. So I'm kind of making some progress, but I'm also not making some progress. Basic Greek is what I'm just trying to get accomplished at this point. I just want to know how to say hi, thank you, touristy stuff. Not really anything like I want to be a Greek philosopher. I want to speak Greek fully. I'm not quite there yet, as I'm still struggling with some of the Greek stuff, like the Greek phonetics, I guess, phonics, like the actual pronunciations. Kind of like this looks like it would be an S word. They're like, nope, this is something totally different. I'd be like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, because it's like it's going where you think you know what you're saying, but you really don't know what you're saying. We also got Thai and Hindi, which I'm doing really well in, even though I don't know how to spell anything. Like, if I ever have to write in any of those two languages, I would fail worse than I would fail Arabic. At Arabic, I'm just trying to figure out, what dialect I'm learning, and then also the modern standard Arabic. Listening to a lot of it, not really picking up how to write it, listening to a lot of Arabic, can't really say any of the, the throaty stuff, like the like that, I cannot get that right, and I feel very, very self-conscious about that. But yeah, I'm relearning the American Sign Language alphabet, so I feel like I can kind of learn a little bit, but most of the time I keep feeling like a robot. I'm like, hi, no, I'm gonna stand here. So that's how that's going. It's not so bad as it seems, but still, considering I haven't really had a lot of, time on those, it's kind of the same as it was before. Just more of a clear defined goal, I guess, so that's kind of good. But like I said, in the upcoming year, I'd really like to see some improvement, sort of. I know it's 3 months in, so that's not too bad to kind of be like, hey, here's my goals, especially since I started this late February, a month ago. You're just like, wait, hold on, what day is it? I think it is the 17th. And is it the 17th? It is the 17th. Hey, I got it right. But yeah, for our, secondary languages kind of thing, those are the main, I guess 15. The main 10 don't change, but I can obviously drop the next 5. Basically, the reason I have those 5 is that they're all the different scripts, so I'll be able to kind of ease into other languages from there. All of my second languages kind of feed into the others in some way. Not really feed into, but I can take off of what I learned from other languages and sort of use them to kind of my advantage and be like, okay, I've heard of this. Doble is in Russian, so doble is in Polish. It's the same thing. It's the same word. Okay, cool. That kind of thing. And then a lot of the languages I have for a third language that I'd like to learn after all of these, a third set, is mostly just continuations, kind of. I have Dutch, which I want to learn since I'm kind of relearning English a little bit. Just want to improve my vocabulary. I feel like I'm very repetitive in a lot of the stuff that I do, and I'd like to be a little bit better at that. But I'm also I feel like this is more natural than reading off of a script, so I don't really read off a script. But I am definitely kind of a little wordy. So it's kind of one of those. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But I feel like it's more natural just to kind of talk and talk about a topic, sort of thing. But Dutch going into Afrikaans kind of thing, but later on maybe. But I have a pretty strong understanding of the grammar that helps me with the German and also helps me with Dutch, so I feel like that would be alright. The most difficult thing with that is just kind of not mixing it too up. So, but they're also different enough that I don't know. So it's kind of one of those. I'm gonna dabble in it, but kind of same with Portuguese. I'm gonna dabble into it again, but I don't want to mess it up too much. Polish, I'm not worried about messing up because Polish is Polish. Polish is very interesting. Polish can sound not like Polish in a lot of ways. So I don't think I have that much of an issue learning Russian with it, but we'll see it down the line. Those are the three that are really similar to main languages I'm learning. But then we also got Vietnamese and Filipino. I do like the sound of those languages. I have a lot of friends that are like, I guess, that ethnicity. So like when I go over to their house, I'm always kind of like, hi, and their mom kind of speaks complete Filipino or Vietnamese to their daughter, and I'm like just sitting there like, ha, okay, like, no, does not work. So I'd like to know like just a bit of stuff, just to kind of be able to be like, hi, how are you? Maybe like a bit basic like understanding of the alphabet, just kind of maybe read. I know Filipino is Latin based. It looks like it has like some Spanish looking words in it. Like I know it magandago magapo. Like that's definitely not Spanish, but there's some words that are similar. So I don't think it's too difficult, but like I said, I want to definitely get back into it. But like I said, a lot of the things I'm kind of saying, I don't know if it's difficult because it's just like I haven't studied them in so long. Like seriously, studied them. So yeah. I also got Swedish and Bosnian, Indonesian and Estonian, because those are similar to other languages, but also because they're other languages that I've been wanting to learn. Indonesian because one, it's close to Malay, and two, there's actually a lot of good influencers from Indonesia, it looks like. So I like looking at the stuff, and I'm like, I wish I could understand a little bit of what they're saying because it looks very colorful, very creative. I like it. So that, and then Swedish because mainly because the Danish classes were too much, but also like I know Danish like grammar. Some of my favorite musicians are Norwegian, and a lot of my furniture is from IKEA. So my solution was, let's learn Swedish and hopefully figure out the rest of it, except for Icelandic, because Icelandic is kind of scary. But yeah, so then Bosnian, Serbian, and Croatian. I love how a lot of people from those areas are just like, it's basically the same language, just dialects. I'm like, okay, so I better give that a shot. I actually work with a couple people from there, so it's kind of like instant practice. You will tell me if I mess up because you're old. You would definitely be like, yeah, you're screwing up that pronunciation. It's this. So I'd be like, oh, okay. Can we still talk? And it's like, yeah. So it's always nice when your coworkers work from different places, and you can just be like, hey, come here, speak this language with me, because you're gonna be just kind of standing there for the next 4 hours, and it's gonna be lonely. So yeah. This is the first year that I'm gonna actually be kind of hitting the Persian and Urdu that I do have, so that's interesting. I didn't really know much of either, and then I was kind of looking into those languages. I'm like, those actually are kind of highly high demand languages to kind of understand, so maybe that might help you later on, because I do want to be like an English teacher or just tutor kind of online, because I think it would be fun. I'd like to kind of look into that as not maybe a career, but definitely something interesting to do that I am kind of passionate about. I feel like language learning will help me teach other people, because I've kind of been able to learn a little bit of their language to understand what is normal in their language. And then kind of be like, okay, so this is normal in your language, but it's not really normal here. And then here's how this is gonna kind of go from here. Like, the is this here, because we put the article in front of here instead of this. So I feel like it kind of is a little more helpful. And then also, maybe I learn a little bit about their language too. I don't know. I mean, like, if I'm teaching them, we're gonna probably focus on English. And then I also have Romanian, Hungarian, and Turkish. Turkish and Hungarian, I've been kind of learning on and off, and those I realized that you need to learn the grammar in both of those a lot, so I'm gonna focus on grammar mostly there. Romanian and Albanian, I've just really wanted to learn. I'm just like, when I want to travel to Europe one day, I want to travel to those places. So I want to learn basic phrases in those. The Mongolian, I just found that would be interesting to learn, because it just, I don't know, I've been very interested in the Mongolian history lately, so I was kind of like, maybe I can kind of use this opportunity to learn a little bit more. So that's kind of, that's where I think it's like 30-something languages are at the moment. Like I said, those are kind of the ones I'm kind of going to be learning alongside someone, whether it be through iTalki, or if it's going to be through apps, or if it's going to be through everything. And I'm probably going to self-study, like, the other languages that aren't mentioned on there that are kind of just like me, like Afrikaans or Danish or things like that. Like that just kind of like there's certain languages. There are only so many languages that me as a like person that wants to be polyglot is willing to learn at once. Like there's some that I will just put on the back burner. Like that's just it's inevitable. Like your brain can only hold so much information in one day. So you know, like if I'm learning like 13 languages in one day, there's gonna be needing some that are gonna be dropped. So. But hopefully I'll be able to make some progress because I've already made a decent amount of progress in, like I said, a couple of them. I definitely want to show that off somehow, though. Like I'm trying to figure out like a creative way to do that. Maybe I will, I don't know, like try to make like I don't know. I don't like speaking in other languages. That's something I really have to work on. So maybe I'll try to challenge myself to do like a little video, but I don't have shorts yet, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do want to revive all of my trees, basically my Italian, my Spanish, my French, and my German trees. So I think that's a good 4 trees to work on Duolingo. I think they're actually considerably big because I think those are the most popular languages on Duolingo as well. So at least I can kind of work with that, and then we'll figure out what to do. If you guys have any ideas of what to make me do, you can add that down there in the comments section, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much my goals for 2022. I can't believe I'm saying that. I feel quite old now. But hopefully, hopefully that stuff will be completed eventually. Like recap. I basically want to get as far as I can with the first set of languages, basic understanding of the second, and the third I don't really care at the moment. Maybe I might go into further detail when I focus on specific languages themselves, but it's kind of the same as before. That's why I sort of didn't mention that kind of stuff, but I just went down language by language. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For some reason, I feel like this video will be posted later because I posted the video before this at like 11 last night, and it only posted like 3 hours ago. So it's kind of weird because now it's morning. You can see how light it is. So yeah. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you have a good one. Bye!